We'd like to welcome you to our quick training today. This will probably be one of the faster ones that we've done. The goal today is to show you and teach you quickly about our iGAZE RE wireless safety edge transmitter receiver kit and how simple it is to install. We think that our product is the best on the market for what it does, and for the cost especially. Our price is extremely competitive, and we're proud of the product we've released. We're going to show you today the kit that we sell, which again is called the iGAZE RE kit. It's the wireless transmitter receiver for safety edges. It is UL certified, and we do have specific wiring diagrams for many of the major manufacturers. So let me show you our kit. This is the iGAZE RE kit that you get when you order it. Again, the price on this is really, really good. It's definitely the lowest on the market. You're going to get the receiver, which is this one here. You're going to get the transmitter. You get your batteries for the transmitter, and then you get your mounting hardware here in this white box for the receiver and the transmitter, which is screws, different things like that. This is the iGAZE RE kit. We built this specifically to make it so that you, as the installer, don't have to carry a bunch of different models on your truck. Some of the competition, you have to have a different model for a 10K operator, a different model for the normally closed operators, and a different model for the legacy non-UL normally open operators. What we've done is made it so that our product, the iGAZE RE, by changing a couple of dip switches, will change the configuration that outputs through our receiver to give what the specific operator you're working on needs. So today we're going to be showing it on a Dorking system, Dorking 9150 operator, and we're going to show you how theirs works. Like I've said, how their system works with our iGAZE RE. Like I said, we've made manuals specifically for some of the big name gate operators, and we're working on more and more every single day. We welcome requests for the stuff you're using. If we don't have a wiring diagram for the operator that you use, tell us which one it is, and we'll order an operator, we'll wire it up, and we'll show you specifically exactly how it's supposed to wire up to that operator. The goal that we want for you is you go there once, you can install it in 10 minutes, be off the job, and never have to go back. It meets all of the current UL standards. Like I said, it is a UL certified product, and the price on it is fantastic, and so are the features. So let's go ahead and jump over to our website, transmittersolutions.com. Like you know, all trainings we do, we reference our transmittersolutions.com website, which again we're proud of. We have all of our wiring diagrams and manuals here. So if I click on our products, I'm going to scroll down to the UL 325 section. This is where you're going to have our safety edges and then all of our photo eyes. Okay, today we're just going to focus on the iGAZE RE kit. Do keep in mind that we have really good options for the actual edge, the rubber edge. You can see the different options that we have. These are all cut to length in the field. These are non-glue, assemble in the field. So you can order a coil of 84 feet from us, cut it and assemble it in the field in a matter of minutes, and it's extremely easy. You don't have to wait for specific lengths to be shipped to you or order specialty things. You buy them, we send you the end caps, you cut them to length, put them together in a matter of minutes, and you're done. We have a video you can reference on our YouTube channel, Transmitter Solutions YouTube channel, that shows how quickly you can do this installation. We also sent out with this email a video of myself showing the range that we get with this product. This is 868 megahertz. So the range on it that we were getting was about 150 feet. That was with the receiver inside of the operator. If we were to move the receiver outside of the operator, our range would be extended, and both of our housings are weatherproof housings and can be put out in the elements. So if you've experienced some range issues, just move that receiver out or move the transmitter a little bit higher. Just a couple troubleshooting tips, but we have heard great things about our range, and like I said, think that the range is pretty good, and that video shows the range that we were getting. So what I want to show you here is if you come to our download section, you can see our UL wiring diagrams. We're going to reference today the Dorking 9150. So I'll pull that up, but you can see we also have it built for NICE, high security, and all-o-matic. And like I said, we welcome all other brands of operators. We'll order an operator, we'll wire it up, we'll make sure it works, and then we'll create a wiring diagram for them. So if you don't see the operator that you use on here, please let us know what you're using, and we will get one created that will go on this website. We also have the manual. Here, this is a comprehensive manual. We think it's an extremely good manual. And we've basically outlined every example of installation that you could have. A couple of things to note before we go on is each receiver can handle up to 8 different transmitters with it. Each transmitter can have 2 safety devices wired into it. So you can have an open edge and a closed edge on one transmitter. And I'll show you that here in just a second when we actually wire it up. I'll show you how it works. 12 or 24 volt AC DC, and we have 2 relays on the receiver. So the receiver can do an open and a closed edge as well to match that transmitter. We're not going to go through the manual very much, but I'll just show you where you can reference and see. We show you the settings and how you need to configure these for the different type of safety devices that you'll have. So for instance, it says below is the most common installation where both your safety edges are either 8.2K or 10K resistive. 10K resistive is going to be Door King, is 10K resistive. Some of the other manufacturers, you can also do normally closed, which is going to be high security, and some of the other manufacturers. But the important thing to note when you're setting ours up is the dip switch configuration on both the transmitter and the receiver. So you can see that we show you exactly how the dip switches need to be configured here on this installation, with the transmitter setup being on the left and the receiver setup being on the right. And we do that for just about every type of installation. So example 1 is one we've just showed. Both safety devices are 8.2 or 10K resistive, or both safety devices are normally closed, or both safety devices are normally open, or one's normally open and one's 10K. We show you every example, how the dip switches are supposed to be set on both the transmitter and receiver, and how you wire it up. It is extremely easy to use. Probably the most common questions we get asked when people call in for technical support is, why isn't it working? And it's usually the dip switches that are just one's turned on when it should be turned off. So reference our dip switches. But like I mentioned, the great thing about this product is that it can go on legacy normally open operators, normally closed operators, 10K operators, basically any operator out there. Right now we do not have an option for LiftMaster. It is for the LiftMaster pulsed output. It is in the works, but it's not released yet, but this will work with every other operator besides that, including NICE, which uses a pulsed output. So please refer to the manual for any questions, but it is extremely easy to use. So now we're going to go ahead and show you exactly how to wire it up with the Door King, which you can see here. This is the Door King 9150. A couple things to keep in mind is Door King's safety switches, SW3 for their UL325 dip switches. You're going to want to make sure you have that configured correctly, and then we're using the UL325 terminal that Door King uses for this installation. Again, this is all outlined here in this manual. So I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to come to our open and closed edge for our iGAZE RE. Again, the Door King is a 10K. It needs to see 10K, so we're going to configure our dip switches to output 10K on the receiver, and then we're going to go from there. So we actually have it wired up here on a Door King operator that we're going to show you. Now, a couple important things to note is Door King's made it easy for us, which we like. They have their UL325 terminal strip here. Okay, they have their UL325 dip switches here, which are labeled 1 through 4, and then they have LED indicators that you'll see here. Melissa, if you can zoom in. Sorry, I'll get my hand out of the way. The LED lights are a quick guide to tell you if a device is blocked. If one of these LED lights is on, I don't know if you can see it. We've got so many wires going in and out, but it's right here where my finger is. There are 4 LEDs. So you can have an open beam, a closed beam, an open edge, a closed edge. If any of these LED lights are on, the gate operator will not run. I'll push the button here. It'll run for a second and then it stops because it's saying that not all of the UL325 requirements are met. There's something obstructing the gate or something is not right. Don't open. Now keep in mind with the new UL325 standards, all of the devices are now monitored. So they're checking in to make sure they're connected. So I have my iGAZE RE receiver hooked up, and it's hooked up correctly, which I'll show you here in just a minute. The reason it's not working is because it's a monitored system. I have my open edge and my closed edge here with my transmitter. I have not saved these or programmed them into my receiver, and so it's checking in and it's not finding anything, and so because it's monitored and not finding anything, both my open edge and my close edge lights are triggered. You can see that I have my photo eyes wired up, and you'll see if I block one, that LED light comes on, but because they're aligned, they come on and off, okay? So we have 2 of the 4 on. So quickly to go through the wiring, and we'll again reference the computer. Sorry, I'm having Melissa run back and forth changing screens. We're going to use 4 wires for both the open edge and the close edge, which is really nice. And again, we're referencing the Door King's UL325 terminal strip and their dip switches. Make sure your dip switches are set correctly on their board, and then we're going to do this. We're going to do our positive wire for the open edge to input 5 on the UL325 terminal, our negative into their input 6, our common into their 8, and our normally open into their 7 for the open edge. And then all we're going to do is the same power on the close edge, and then we're going to use our normally open 2, so our second relay, and our common 2 to 9 and 10. So you can see it's extremely easy to wire up, and we have that here, shown here. You can't see the wire, but this is my wire right here. And so I've got the power wire, and then I've got my relay wires for both my normally open and my for open edge and close edge, okay? So again, this is where you want to be for all your safety devices with Door King. And again, when there's a different operator, a high security operator or a nice operator, it's a little bit different, and we have the configuration there. For example, high security, you have to change a couple configurations in the screen through their software, and we show you exactly how to do that, a step-by-step guide with what you need to select in their menu of options, which makes it really nice. So our goal is always to make this as simple as possible for you, and then make sure you don't have to go back. So now what I'm going to do, I've configured my dip switches correctly, which you can see here, and I won't make Melissa keep jumping back and forth. I'll just tell you. You can see in the manual the way our dip switches are configured for a 10K output. Let me get there real quick. So for the transmitter, the 10K output, you can see dip switch 1 is off and all of the rest are on our transmitter. And then for our receiver, we need to have a 10K output. So we'll scroll down here to example 1, which you can see 6 and 5 are on and the rest are off. So we show you exactly how to set up the dip switches. Again, dip switches are the most important thing, both on the Door King board and on our board, to make sure they're correct. You wire up the 4 wires like we've shown here, and then you're good to go. Now all you need to do is power up, or excuse me, program in each of your edges into the operator. So you can see here I have my open edge, 2 wires, brown and blue, going into safety 2, which you can't see, but it's the 2 terminals on the right. And then I have my close edge, which is this wire, 2 wires going into my safety 1. This will hold 2 different edges, and the receiver has 2 different relays, so you can do an open and close. You can do up to 8 of these per receiver. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and program it in, and this is extremely simple. We have our learn button here. I'm going to press and hold, wait for 1 beep, and push the program button on the transmitter. You cannot trigger that with the initial program from the edge. You have to press the program button. Now I'm going to learn in channel 2 in my other safety device, so I'm going to hold the program button until I hear 2 beeps, which gets me on channel 2. 2 beeps, press the test button, and now that's programmed in, and you can see, because it's programmed in and now it's monitoring and talking, both LED lights have gone off, and now all 4 LED lights are off. If I was to trigger it, one of my lights comes on, and I'm holding it until I release it and trigger my other safety device, and my other light comes on until I release it. So now I can run the gate. Gate's running. That was my open edge. Gate's reversing, just like the Door King manual says. I can open it again. I'm going to let it go full cycle here. Gate's opening right now until it hits its limit. I'll stop it. It's going to reverse. Now it's reversing, and I can trigger my reverse edge. So both my open and my reverse edge are working on this Dorking operator. Again, extremely simple. If you had a different operator, all you would do is it would be a very similar wiring. It's the same exact iGAZE RE kit. The only difference is going to be your dip switches inside the receiver, and your dip switches inside the transmitter are going to be set a little bit differently based off of what output you need. And then you're going to, on some of the operators, configure some of the menus, like the high security operator, or obviously you're going to be wired up to different areas. Something else to note that's unique about our system is sometimes you are shipped maybe the wrong edge, or you have an edge in stock, or there's an existing edge, we're talking the actual rubber now, on the gate. And you might not know what technology it is, because the cap is what determines the technology, whether it's normally open or 10K or 8.2K. One of the great things about ours is we don't care what the edge is that goes into our transmitter. What's important is what we output at the receiver. So if you have a 10K edge, okay, let's say you have an existing 10K edge on the gate, or you have a 10K edge in stock, but you have a high security gate operator. High security needs a normally closed contact, but you can hook up your 10K edge to our transmitter and set your transmitter to accept a 10K edge, but set your dip switches on your receiver to output normally closed for the high security operator. So you don't have to worry about getting 100% matches. We can output whatever your operator needs to see, and then even if a 10K edge is transmitted, we know we're seeing 10K, but we're outputting normally closed, which is really nice. So the goal is to give you one product that you stock on your truck that can work with all gate operators. Again, we work on all major manufacturers right now except for LiftMaster, which we're in the process of working on. But that's how simple the setup is. 4 wires, configure the dip switches, in this case on the Dorking using their 325 terminal board, configure our dip switches on the transmitter, our dip switches on the receiver, and then you're good to go. So always make sure you're referencing our manuals and our wiring diagrams. Again, found at transmittersolutions.com. Under the UL325 section, downloads, we have our UL wiring diagram, so I'll show you one for high security so you can see what it looks like. This one's a little bit more detailed because they have their menu that you have to go through, and we show you exactly what you have to go through on their menu to make it work. One of the big benefits of this is ease of use, stock one product, and then also price. We are the lowest priced product on the market that we know of, and it works extremely well, completely UL certified. I'll come stand back in front of the camera. And just a really, really reliable product. So that is the iGAZE RE kit, down and dirty. We'll be posting some videos of wiring for other manufacturers so you guys can see those and feel comfortable there. All of the wiring diagrams are in the manuals, so if you get the product, you can open it up to your specific operator. If we don't have the one you use, please let us know and we'll create one. We'll stick around now for the next little while. Any questions that any of you have, please let us know. We'll stick around and answer any of those for you. Thank you very much for your time on this holiday week.